Welcome back, everybody, to WWTA News. I thank you for joining us again for another episode. Yes, you made it back, and because you did, you definitely want to subscribe to the channel. So now that you've made it back, I'm glad. Hey, great. We've got some news articles, some information to start looking at and start getting more of an idea of what's going on around us. So today, I'm gonna get through some articles, and then we'll probably jump into a discussion maybe later on today, and just try to better understand because a lot of things are technically happening around us in the financial market as well as the new emerging market, the cryptocurrency or the digital currency slash asset market. So, wow, let's jump into some articles. We got an article from The Block. It says Spanish telecom giant Telefonica, Tele, Telefonica enables crypto payments via Bit2Me. Telefonica, the $19 billion Spanish telecom giant, is allowing the use of cryptocurrency for purchases on its 2.com marketplace. Let's get that one more time. Telefonica, the $19 billion Spanish telecom giant, is allowing the use of cryptocurrency for purchases on its marketplace. That means accepted for payment. That's what that means. I don't know what else it could mean other than hey, you can pay for that with that. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know how else to take it. It goes on to say the cryptocurrency payment integration for 2.com comes as the result from a partnership between Telefonica and Spanish cryptocurrency exchange Bit2Me, as reported by CoinDesk. Telefonica also invested an undisclosed amount in the exchange. Hey, your exchange is going to be needed. Cryptocurrency's got to move left and right. We like the fact that we can do a lot of instant settlement as well as access to, all the other things on blockchain. I don't know. Looks pretty amazing to me. In our next article from Crypto Briefing, it says Facebook, Instagram enable NFTs for all United States users. If you're opening up that gate for non-fungible tokens, there's got to be more to come, right? I mean, go ahead and open it up. I'm just saying, though, if you're opening up that gateway, there's more to come. And from my understanding, based on everything I've learned so far to date, please, a non-fungible token is not just some piece of artwork. That's just not. It's really just data put on the blockchain that can be sold. All right, it's a non-fungible, which means that only one of those exists, so you can only buy that one. All right, so it's basically, ownership of that one, whatever it is. All right, Facebook expands their non-fungible token access. Meta is expanding non-fungible token access. Beginning today, all Facebook and Instagram users in the United States can now connect their digital wallets and share NFTs or digital collectibles. Furthermore, non-fungible token support will be available to all users on Instagram in the 100 countries where the feature is supported. I mean, it's the door. It's opening up the door, and so many things can come through that door once it's open. So we'll be keeping our eyes on this because, keep our eyes on it. We got an article, Star Atlas. It offers first glimpse of gameplay with its debut on Epic Game Stores. All right. Epic Game Stores is just a store online for computers to purchase video games and play video games online. And Star Atlas is a big project, a video game created on the Solana blockchain network. So let's see what they have to say. Star Atlas has released its first pre-alpha gameplay demo on the Epic Game Store, offering fans a long-awaited glimpse of what they might expect in the full version of the massive multiplayer online role-playing game. Based on Solana and built using Unreal Engine 5, which is the newest Unreal Engine. For those of you in the video game space, For those of you not, that's just what it is, the newest video game engine for Unreal. Star Atlas is one of the most ambitious gaming projects in the space. Its lore is based around three factions struggling for resources, territorial conquest, and political domination in the year 2620. The project launched in 2020 and it's already attracted a loyal following. Fans have spun off ship-making guilds and even a dedicated news site based on the game. So it has a market. People are taking it seriously. It's based on or built on Solana's blockchain network. So that's how the money transactions are going to move via Solana, their blockchain. So it's an important thing. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but it's a hard thing making these games, and to see a big project like this happening, again, starting in 2020, just talks, and it has some trailers, but I don't know. Check it out, see what you think about it. If you're interested in it, of course, Solana Network, that's where it's built, in a sense, as far as the financial transactions. And yeah, I don't know. Something to watch as well. We got another article. Coinbase suffers major outages for customers with United States bank accounts. Oh no! Technology, right? Coinbase account holders with United States bank accounts found themselves unable to conduct transactions on Sunday morning. It says, in quotes, "We are currently unable to take payments or make withdrawals involving United States bank accounts," the company said on its status site. "Our team is aware of the issue and is working on getting everything back to normal as soon as possible." These type of things happen all the time, here, there, and everywhere. I know people get scared and say, "Oh, if there's ever, what did they say, EMP," So all over this realm that we know as Earth, every country, every nation, every continent, they're going to have servers somewhere in these different places. And the information, servers, nodes, depending on the company and the technology, servers, nodes, whatever, data is not just limited to one location. I mean, like, that's crazy, okay? First off, your internet is not limited to the United States. It's not limited to China. It's everywhere. Everybody that can get to set up their own servers, because that's all they're doing with an internet, is you're connecting people to servers all over, quote unquote, your continent, your state, yada yada yada, through fiber optics. If you have, I believe fiber optics right now is the best way of sending data through the light, through the fiber optic lines. So I believe that's the fastest and best way at this point in time. I could be wrong, but I believe so. And so as long as you have servers and you have fiber optics, and some programming, you're always going to have internet. So it's not uncommon for there to be an outage or a short somewhere which restricts something. But that doesn't mean it's over for all, because this technology is everywhere. Just because your internet's out in whatever state you're in doesn't mean that, whatever county or city you're in, that a city over that theirs is out, or 2 blocks away theirs is out. You know what I'm saying? It just means you're having an issue. So when we see something like this, as much as some people might take it, "Oh, see, I told you I don't want to have," come on, let's be real. Whenever you use a credit card, whenever you use your debit card, you're doing a digital transaction. You're just doing a harder digital transaction because all the other stuff is attached to it and how it has to work in the messaging system. But if ever, for instance, the messaging system is down, you got the same problem. So, whoopity whoopity whoop, not a big deal. For all of you that might have had an issue Sunday morning, this stuff happens all the time. It's nothing major to be paying attention to. But at the same token, if you're a person that holds all of your finances on an exchange, the exchange can only protect you but so much. I do believe that Coinbase has this thing that they'll protect up to, if you get their insurance or something, they'll protect up to like $1 million worth of money that you leave there. So yeah, you have to look that stuff up. I preferably say, 9/10 of the law is what? Possession. So if I leave it with you, anything happens, 9/10 of the law's possession. Goes on to say, the company said it's readying a fix and identified the issue as a problem with ACH withdrawals, deposits, and buy failures. ACH, or the Automatic Clearinghouse Network, is a system used for transferring funds electronically in the United States between bank accounts. Affected users on the platform are still able to make direct purchases using a debit card or PayPal account, the company clarified. And also, I'd like to say this. When you're talking about in and out of an exchange that deals in cryptocurrencies, it's not the same thing as cryptocurrencies. Again, you're talking about a clearinghouse. We got stuff like Swift. I can't think of the other one the United States uses, but it's a whole bunch of these clearinghouses, right, that do these transactions, which makes moving money so hard and difficult and long-winded for no reason. especially when you can have something like on-demand liquidity, which would require, in a sense, all banks to hold so much um, ISO currency, right? That would be backed by what, right? So it's got to be backed by something, and you've got to hold so much of it for you to be able to even do these transfers and transactions, as far as when we're talking about moving big amounts of money. You know what I'm saying? And even when we talk about now, it's the same thing. Even if your banks happen to become exchanges for some reason, I speculate, they'll have to themselves, your personal bank, if you so happen to use that, would have to still, just like the big banks, have some amount of dedicated amount of ISO that's on demand. You know what I'm saying? So let's just, and before I get long-winded and crazy, let's just imagine, let's say Bank of America. Let's say Bank of America gets into the space, which I suspect they will, and that they're required, because let's say the bank in, I don't know, your town, let's say you got a bank in your town, and they want to do transactions, they have to, at that particular bank, they might have to hold, I don't know, pick an ISO, any ISO, pick your favorite ISO, and they might have to hold, I don't know, that one bank, that one local bank might have to hold, I don't know, for settlement, uh, 500,000 dollars worth of that on demand liquid currency, right? And I don't want to call names, because people take stuff and run with it. So I'm going to do an ugly name that somebody wouldn't even. Let's pick let's take Algorand. Let's imagine your Bank of America in your local area. In order to do these transactions, right? Because they can, be your bank as well. They can hold your phrase so that you're guaranteed secure, because if anything happens, they actually have your account as well, and they can see all the transactions, because they would hold your 12 phrase. So they would be able to legally fix anything that might have happened nefariously, and track, even if you were the one trying to scam yourself. So let's just imagine that Bank of America decides to do something like that, which I suspect they will, and your local branch is required to have $500,000 worth of Algorand sitting in their digital wallet, okay? Just because they've got to do transactions, right? So let's just say that's the requirement for that local bank, just like any other local bank, yada yada. So let's just say that's their requirement. And before y'all speculate and go into all that stuff, I'm just trying to comprehend and understand. I'm sharing my thoughts with you all as I'm understanding it from my perspective of how it could possibly be. So let's just say that happens. So then that's how those transactions would beat out the old system that we have now, which those transactions wouldn't need to be waiting on days, wouldn't need to be cleared. It would just be. Now we go back to the same problem though. Let's just say in that area there's a power crash or a internet crash or something to that effect. That wouldn't still affect you in the sense of nodes existing that would have that same recorded data and information all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So as you see here, the ACH issue, that comes from an outside source, not tied to the blockchain, which causes problems, not the blockchain. So I just want to throw that out there and let that be something that we all think about going forward, because I do believe that that's the direction we're going in, which stops all this old-fashioned dumb stuff and takes us into this new world of high speed, instantaneous, yada da 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 da. All right, so our next article, I told you I get long-winded. Y'all know I do this stuff, man. Don't let that guy start talking, he'll get long-winded. Let's see if this is our last article. We're going to close. I think this is our last article. Global banks exposure to crypto is around 0.01%. Is that so? There's a report that took the crypto asset data from 16 Group 1 banks and 3 Group 2 banks. 10 of these banks were from the Americas, 7 were from Europe, and the remaining 2 were from the rest of the world. You can see there in their little charts, Americas, Europe, which banks, which Group 1 banks, and Group 2. Okay. It goes on to say with a quote, as the crypto asset market is fast evolving, it is difficult to ascertain whether some banks have under or over reported their exposure to crypto assets. and the extent to which they have consistently applied the same approach to classifying any exposures. So it says exposure distributions, crypto assets belonging to the 10 American banks comprise around one third of the total, which equals out to 9.4 billion euro. The distribution amongst these banks is not even either. Okay. Then it goes on more on the token distribution. According to the data, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the most held assets to those particular banks. Among all 19 institutions, Bitcoin exposure is at 31%, while Ethereum is at 22%. Tokens that have Bitcoin or Ethereum as underlying assets follow as the third and fourth most held assets. Bitcoin-based tokens make up 25%, while Ethereum-based ones make up 10%. Then the remaining 10% is shared amongst other coins, Ripple, and this is only talking about those particular banks, like 16 of those 16 banks. And it goes on to say Ripple's XRP follows as the third most exposed coin with 2%, while Cardano and Solana come as fourth and fifth with 1% each. Litecoin and Stellar XLM rank sixth and seventh with 0.4% each. Banks have also reported that they held USDC in smaller amounts, which are not included in the above charts. And again, we're only talking about those particular 16 banks, which isn't even much. So, yada, yada. All right, now this should be the last one. How inflation and debased fiat currencies are pushing investors to Bitcoin. Self-explanatory. While the spikes we've seen in Bitcoin trading volume might not signify that mass adoption is near, right? They show that it's beginning to act as a safe haven asset. Listen, this is not coincidental. All this stuff is definitely pre-planned. It's not coincidental. Do not be a fool. It's not coincidental. All this stuff is strategically set up. It's got a timeline of all these things that have to come to be at a certain time. We're all being, misled just so we're not paying attention. Because, everybody gets scared of something new when it comes in. Everybody makes an uproar, yada, yada, yada. There's obviously going to be bad actors and good actors. Whatever you're looking at, it is what it is. But nonetheless, you can't stop what's happening. It's going down. It's the new financial system. It is what it is. You can either be a part of it and be prepared to deal with it, or you can just get left to be in a bad position when all this stuff turns over and we move fully into this next system. That's all I got. I know I was long-winded. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you made it to the end of the video, I greatly appreciate you, because I told you it's always a lot of information. And look, you can also subscribe to the channel because it was a lot of information and you actually got some value out of it. And I'll catch you all in the next episode. Thank you.